Hello and welcome to another video. Today we are diving into the exciting realm of Hack the Box and our mission is to solve the Preignition challenge. So let's get to it. Task 1. Directory brute forcing is a technique used to check a lot of paths on a web server to find hidden pages, which is another name for this. So the first option that we have, it's called local file inclusion, and this is a type of security vulnerability that happens when a web application allows an attacker to include files on a server through the web browser. This can lead to the disclosure of sensitive information or execution of malicious code. The second option is 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒊𝒔. Is a tool used to find hidden folders or directories on a website. And the third option is hash cracking. Let me tell you about this with an example. For instance, if you create an online account, you must insert a password. That password is transformed into a unique code called hash. So, hash cracking is when someone tries to figure out your password by trying different combinations until they find the one that matches your hash. So, having these three options in mind, we know that the answer is 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒂𝒍 because, as I told you, the 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒂𝒍𝒆 is a tool used to find hidden folders or directory, and what we want to do is to find hidden pages. So the answer is the second one, 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒂𝒍𝒆. Task 2. What switch do we use for nmap scan to specify that we want to perform version detection? To know this, let's write on our terminal nmap and the switch H for help. So let's see what's the switch. Okay, here it is. As you can see, service version detection. So the switch is SV. So let's perform our nmap scan. nmap-s capital V. Then our IP address. Enter and let's see what's the output. Okay. Task 3. What does nmap report is the service identified as running on port 80 TCP. So as you can see, the service is HTTP, which means that the server can be hosting a website. So let's try to find out. What we need to do is to copy the IP here, and as you can see, we have here a site HTTP. Task 4. What server name and version of service is running on port 80 TCP. So we can see here that the name and version are nginx 1.14.2. That's our answer. Task 5. What switch do we use to specify to 𝒂𝒑 we want to perform a 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒂𝒍𝒆 specifically? So to know this, we just need to insert on our terminal 𝒂𝒑-h for help, and here we have our switch. Uses directory file enumeration mode. So our answer is dir. Task 6. When using 𝒂𝒑 to 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍, what switch do we add to make sure it finds PHP pages? To know this, we just need to insert on our terminal 𝒂𝒑, but this time we need to insert the dir because we want to know what switches can we use with 𝒂𝒑 dir. Now we insert -h for help, and let's see if we can find the answer to our question. Here it is, the X, that's our answer, and the X, it's used to search for file extensions. So how do we use the X? We put the X and the file extension that we want to search for. In our case, it's PHP. Task 7. What page is found during our 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒂𝒍𝒆 activities? Okay, so let's perform a 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒂𝒍𝒆. Okay, to do that, you just need to use the command 𝒂𝒑 dir, and this specifies that you want to perform a directory brute forcing. Then the switch U, and this switch specifies the target URL. In our case, it's http:// and the IP address. Then we use the switch W. In this switch specifies the path to the word list file that 𝒂𝒑 will use for brute forcing. And if you are using Kali Linux, you have already a word list installed on your Kali Linux. To access it, you just need to change directory to user, then share, then word lists, and then 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒊𝒕. Inside of 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒊𝒕, as you can see, we have a lot of files, and you need to choose one to use for directory brute force. If you are not using Kali Linux, you can go to Google and you can search for 𝒕𝒉𝒂𝒍𝒊𝒕 word list, as you can see, and you can click, for instance, here, lists, and you will have all these files here, and you can download one of these files. But I'm going to use the ones that I have already in my machine, and I'm going to show you how to do it. To know the path to the file, you just need to insert pwd, that means print working directory. You just need to copy this and insert it here. Then you choose the file that you want to use. Let's use, for instance, this file here. Copy this and paste it here. And then we need to tell 𝒂𝒊𝒕 that we want to search for PHP files. To do that, we just need to use the X switch and then PHP in front of it. Then click enter and wait for the output. So we know already that this is the answer to our task 7. Let's move on. Task 8. What is the HTTP status code reported by 𝒂𝒊𝒕 for the discovered page? As you can see, the status code is 200. That's our answer. So now we have a lot of information that we need to explore. To do that, we just need to enter the page that we found on the search and see what happens. Let's do it. admin.php. Enter. Here we have an admin console login, but we don't have the password and we don't have the username. Okay, let's try to see if this admin is using his default credentials. But first, let me see what are the most used default credentials for admin. Let's see. Default credentials for admin. Let's see this here. And here we have some examples, some credentials that are the default for admin, and we can try this first here and see if it's the default that this admin has. As username admin and as password admin. Here we have our flag. So this is not a good idea, not change our default credentials, because as you can see, they are online and you can access it very easily. That's it, guys. We solved our challenge with success. If you like this video and you could find the answer to your questions here, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. For those who have questions, please leave a comment with your questions in the commentary section down below. Have a nice day and bye bye!